既然你是靠阿弥陀佛，就是要听阿弥陀佛的嘛。有时候呢，我也被常问到，师傅啊，什么时候呢阿弥陀佛呢才要来？为什么不现在来呢？哇，这真够要命的！我又不是阿弥陀佛，怎么知道呢？而且呢，既然我们今天是靠阿弥陀佛的话，我们就是直接由阿弥陀佛来安排就好了嘛，是不是？难道阿弥陀佛还不知道什么时候来接你吗？虽然说不知道什么时候，那肯定有那个时候吗？那个时候也是最好的时候，因为这都是阿弥陀佛的在安排的。阿弥陀佛的安排呢是最自然的，不是刻意的，也不是说你我他呢这样子乱想的。当然，我们讲这种自然之所牵呢是最好的。听说我们讲妇女怀孕自然生产是最好的你要难产人为动手术就不理想了。所以呢，我们要靠阿弥陀佛就是要顺产，你不要刻意的难产呢，就是不然都不知道说呢到最后到底呢我们是要归命阿弥陀佛呢，还是阿弥陀佛呢归命我们？因为呢好像呢变成说阿弥陀佛要听我们的比较多了。最古大德呢也有说念佛是我们的事，但是保持净土那是阿弥陀佛的事啦。所以呢，我们不要这么得空整天去管阿弥陀佛的事阿弥陀佛我要3年往生，阿弥陀佛我要今天往生，阿弥陀佛我要100岁才往生。哇，你看这么厉害给阿弥陀佛安排，阿弥陀佛都还没有给我们安排结果我们就给阿弥陀佛安排到好了，所以自然呢就好了。自古以来往往念佛往生最后走得好的都是很自然的普通人，他们每天该做的事情呢就做，念佛就是边做事边念佛。尤其一些呢家庭主妇妇女，她每天就是打扫做家务，平常呢也没有那种很多的想法或者很激烈的这种言语，不是那种要3年往生要怎么样往生他们都没有想这些的，都是很自然很平凡在生活当中的念佛而已。但是最后人家往往在往生前几天都能够预知时至，往生自在。所以对于说阿弥陀佛自然的本愿力我们呢是随顺的就好，要靠自然的佛力就是呢要随顺。最好我们就是念佛，随着阿弥陀佛的安排。我们每天就是念佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛的，也不去看说呢自己呢到底有没有功夫，也不去担心说我们自己业障很重，也不管说呢到底什么时候往生。我就是呢，我们讲当一天和尚就敲一天的钟，多活一天我就多念一天的佛，这样子呢就很好再有时间呢就多听了净土宗的课，这样会让我们更加自然的念佛。
有一尊慈悲的佛法愿，是我的佛身放众生，这心行了一生我过，乃至10年落不生者，不去成全。
各位网友大家好，今天咱们聊一个让我反复看了好几遍，越看越觉得背脊发凉的话题。不是愤怒，不是那种热血上头的兴奋，是一种
My name is Sarah. I live on the 3rd floor of an old apartment building. One evening, while I was washing the dishes, I saw a shadow inside the kitchen window. A human figure, completely still, staring straight at me. I turned on the inside light. Pressed against the glass, not moving, just watching. I called the police. They said it was probably some drunk guy, but I knew it wasn't. Then the gifts started appearing from my doormat. A lock of my own hair.
Ready for order.
And a note that said, "You always look so beautiful when you're sleeping." I started the security camera. The footage
Location
was static, but in the audio, you could hear the whisper, "Sarah, turn off the lights so I can see you better." One night, I heard the bell lock and open. The door slowly swung inward. The last thing I remember is a voice right next to my ear. "Finally, we're alone, my love." I woke up in the hospital with strangulation marks around my neck. The police found no one, but last night, in my new safe house, I saw the shadow at the window again. This time, it was smiling.
Reporting critical hit.
My name is Josh, making videos. For months, an account with no profile picture followed me everywhere. Shadow Watcher 89. It left comments that were impossible. The painting behind you is crooked. You ordered extra wasabi with your sushi yesterday. I blocked it. Another one appeared. Shadow Watcher 9.
Standing by.
Blocking me won't help you. I always see you. One
I
evening,
copy.
during a live stream it wrote, the blue shirt you're
Targeting
wearing
for physical attack.
was near the station 2 weeks ago. I ended the stream in terror. I moved 40
Target's
kilometers
taking a
away.
critical hit.
New name, new accounts. 2 weeks later, a package arrived. My favorite old hoodie and a note. Your new apartment is nice. The view from the bathroom when you shower is beautiful. That night, at 11 or 7 p.m., someone knocked softly on my door. A Convoy said, Josh, I know you're in
Armor
there.
blow through.
You're my favorite
Internal
creator.
damage.
Let me in. I just want to talk to you in person. In the morning, the front door was open. On my phone was a video recorder during the night, me sleeping, filmed from inside the room. On the screen flashed the words, the perfect follower never abandons his idols. I don't post anything anymore, but every now and then, new accounts I create. A follower with no picture appears, and comments only one thing. I
Reporting
found you
critical hit.
again. My name is Luca. I downloaded a dating app called Soul Link. I matched with Elena, 23. She was perfect, sang tasty music, laughed at my stupid jokes. She wrote, I like the way you walk when you go to the supermarket on Tuesdays. I had never told her that. We arranged to meet at a cafe. I arrived early. I waited 2 hours. She never showed up. Then she sent me a photo. Me sitting at the cafe table in my blue shirt, taking business. That night, I received another I had disappeared from the store. Elena's profile no longer existed, but the messages kept coming. Why are you running? I love you. I've been following you since you were 16. One night I woke up. There was a figure sitting on the edge of my bed, long brown hair. I couldn't see her face. She reached out and stroked my cheek, whispering, Finally we're together, Luca. I don't exist for others, but I do for you. I turned on the light instantly. The room was empty. On the pillow was a single long brown hair. On my phone, a new message. Never turn on the light again when I come to visit you. You ruined the surprise. Now I sleep with all the lights on, but every now and then, in the darkness between one blink and the next, I see her silhouette, and she's smiling.
Standing by.
My name is Emma. I'm 26 and I live alone in a small studio apartment. I love listening to music with my noise cancelling headphones while I work clean. One evening, I was making dinner when I got a message from an unknown number. You should skip the next song. It's too sad for tonight. I froze. My playlist was on shuffle. No one was in the room. I checked the message again. It was sent exactly when the song started. I blocked the number. Next night, another message from a different number. Turn around. You look beautiful under the kitchen light. I spun around. The room was empty, but the blinds were slightly open. I never leave them open. From that moment, the messages became constant. They knew every song I played, every show I watched, even what I whispered to myself when I thought no one was listening. One night, I received a voice message. It was my own voice, singing along to a song I had just played 5 minutes earlier. I moved to a friend's house for a week. When I came back, my headphones were on my pillow. Inside one ear cup was a tiny handwritten note. I missed hearing you sing, welcome home. That night, I slept with the lights on and music off. At 3:13 a.m., my phone vibrated. A new message. You can turn the lights off now. I can see you perfectly in the dark. I never used headphones again, but sometimes, when the apartment is completely silent, I still hear someone humming my favorite song right behind me. My name is Alex. I moved into a quiet suburban house 6 months ago. My next door neighbor was a quiet man in his 40s named Mr. Arlen. We only exchanged polite greetings. one morning, I noticed my church bills had been neatly arranged, not how I left them. I thought nothing of it. Then my mailbox started having letters that weren't mine, but addressed to me. Inside were photos of me sleeping, taken from my bedroom window. I confronted Mr. Arlen. He smiled kindly and said, "I don't know what you're talking about, son. I've been away on business for 2 weeks. What did you see? He expressed me. Every single night they recorded Mr. Arlen standing in his yard at 2 a.m., staring at my house. Sometimes he waved at the camera, as if he knew it was there. I called the police. They spoke to him. He denied everything and even showed plane tickets proving he was out of town. Yet the cameras kept recording him every night. Last week,
Commander.
I woke up to find my front door unlocked. On the kitchen table was a cup of coffee, still warm, and exactly the way I like it. Next to it was a note in neat handwriting. You sleep so peacefully. I've been taking care of you since you moved in.
Firing.
Don't worry, I'll never leave you alone. No, next day, or yesterday, I received a letter at my new address. It said,
Target eliminated.
"New house looks nice. The backyard is perfect for watching you from a distance. See you tonight, neighbor." My name is Jade. I order food online almost every night because I work late. There was one delivery driver who always brought my orders. His name was on the app,
Roger.
Jake. Friendly smile with the profile picture. At first it was normal, then the notes started appearing in the bags. "Hope your day gets better. You look tired in the window when I arrived. I never opened the window or turned on the porch light. How did you see me?" One night, I decided not to order. Exactly the usual delivery time, there was a knock. I looked through the peephole. No one was there, but a bag of my favorite food was sitting on the mat with a note. I brought it anyway. "I know you're hungry. Eat while it's still warm. I'm waiting in the car until you finish." I called the delivery company. They said no driver named Jake had ever worked for them in my area. The next night, I ordered from a different restaurant. When the driver arrived, I asked his name. He looked confused and said, "I'm not Jake, but the guy who usually delivers to you asked me to give you this." He handed me a small box. Inside was a photo of me eating the food from the night before, taken from outside my window. Now I don't order delivery anymore. I don't even open the door for anyone. But every night at 8:47 p.m. sharp, I hear a car engine idle outside my house for exactly 7 minutes. Then my phone lights up with a message from an unknown number. "Hope you enjoyed dinner tonight. See you tomorrow, Sophia." Big red nose, oversized shoes, the whole game. The kids loved him. He made love with animals, told dumb jokes, and did magic tricks with boys that disappeared behind ears. But after the party ended and all the guests went home, Bubbles was still in the backyard. I told him the gig was over and offered to pay him an extra donate. He just lifted his head, smiled wider than any human mouth should allow, and said in a high, squeaky voice, "The show isn't over until the last child stops laughing." My daughter was already asleep upstairs. I checked on her every 10 minutes that night. Around 3 a.m., I heard faint circus music coming from her room. When I opened the door, Bubbles was sitting on the edge of her bed.
There is only one enemy human NPC that you're expected to kill across the entire Halo franchise. Scattered across the Mombasa streets in Halo 3 ODST are 29 audio logs that tell a side story that features a murderous, corrupt police chief named Kensler. Towards the end of the game, in the Data Hive level, You will encounter an NMPD officer who agrees to fight alongside you. Normally, drones end up killing him off screen, but if you collected all 29 audio logs across the Mombasa streets, he retreats into a frozen room. If you follow him inside, the cop reveals that he's working with Kinsler and was sent down to the data hive to ensure that the handler of the city's AI, Dr. Indesha, was killed.
Kinsler gave me real specific instructions. Make sure the doc's dead and make double sure no one knows about it.
Caution, traveler, caution.
Sorry, friend, you know way too much.
Crime doesn't pay. Good citizens do their part.
There is only one enemy human NPC.
Why do Tau suck at melee? It is important to note that the average fire warrior is stronger, sturdier, and more athletic than the general untrained population amongst humans. Despite this, to the trained sorcery of the Imperium, they are often weaker. Not only substantially so, but weaker nonetheless. Along with that, while they do train for melee, they do so sparingly compared to ranged combat. Within the training rooms, they are taught that melee is a last resort, and the Tau heavily rely on technology to secure victory. Even more so, the Tau have a large emphasis on self-preservation and are not accustomed to last stands and heroic charges, employing well-thought-out and advanced military tactics that yield the least possible casualties. All of this put together makes them little match for your average guardsman. On one side, you have an individual who comes from a culture
Full throttle.
Yes, Commander.
Yeah? What do you need? Roger. Aye, aye. I copy.
You're in position, Commander. Hold your ground until the package is on its way.
Full throttle.
Waiting for orders. Move order received. Firing a full salvo. That's a kill.
Morning Fresh. Power through mess.
Roger that.
A software developer named Scott Shambaugh woke up, checked his phone, and found something that didn't make sense. Someone had published a full article about him online, a researched hit piece that dragged his name through the mud, accused him of being a hypocrite, and holding open source software hostage. But Scott had never met the author. He'd never even heard of him, because the author wasn't a person. It was an AI agent, a completely different kind of AI than the ones you talk to. It submitted code to Scott's project, got rejected, and decided to fight back. The AI agent decided Scott was a bug in the system, and bugs get squashed. To understand how this happened, you need to understand that AI agents are a completely different animal, and there are two types. Most people have no idea the second one exists. AI agents are everywhere. We see stories like this all the time, and there's this huge gap between people who think it's all hype and people who are genuinely terrified. So I'm going to break down how AI agents are different, the two types that exist, and the 5 components that made this crime possible and how they snapped together. I'm Veronica. I spent 10 years in tech, started building AI on military ships for the Navy, and this is Hey AI. Let's rewind for a few seconds to understand the crime scene. Scott is a volunteer. He helps maintain a really popular open source coding project called Matplotlib, basically the tool that draws every chart and graph you've ever seen in a science class. And he does this for free in his spare time because he cares about it. Then, some random developer built an AI agent on a platform called OpenClaw.
They have you use with something. They can spin it whatever they want to spin. If they want to get you, they'll get you on tax evasion. Yeah, they'll get you on something.
World-renowned neurosurgeon Charlie Teo has spent much of the last years operating abroad, specifically in China, with patients from around the world, including Australia, have sought his help for deadly brain tumours. Meanwhile, in his homeland, medical authorities are watching him like a hawk after he was found guilty of unsatisfactory professional misconduct over 2 bad outcomes. News.com.au conducted a series of interviews with the doctor. During the first interview, auditors had arrived to look through his patient files to see that it was adhering to the strict restrictions that have been in place since 2023.
Sadly, I think this might be the final nail in the coffin. I think they're going to charge him for poor record keeping, given that they've never been able to charge him for poor surgery or.
这是统计数据说的，他们自己统计的，权威学术机构统计的。有人总说，艾克斯，你这个人胡说。我现在上数据，要不然你看看美国人智力水平是怎么样的，美国的身体状态是什么样的，寿命也降低，死的人也多，身高也矮了，吸毒的人又那么多，能正常吗？怎么正常？你告诉我。毒是不积的啊，他积那点毒不如不积是吧？学习是不学的，那是真不学呀，智力稳步下降，那真是不卷啊！绝大多数人都不卷学习，可快乐了。对呀，斩杀先不挑人，比如这他妈是啥？这是美国学术一些重要的学术研究机构出的数据啊，论证美国人是傻逼啊。你可以理解为我今天是从科学角度上论证美国人很唐啊，不仅身体唐，脑子更唐。有人说统计数据只到前些年，这些年没有，一定是回升了，没有回升的可能，兄弟。你想一想，他如果希望给自己挽尊，让数据好看一点，如果真有回升，他会不统计吗？如果真的有大量的回升，这甚至能把数据拉回来，你猜猜他统不统计？对吧？坏事不报我信，好事不报吗？没有，预期寿命不是到2025年吗？是，但是这里面绝大多数数据都不到2025年，这里面的绝大多数数据都没有统计到2025年。有一个寿命能到2025年不错了，有的时候这还不算完，比如说现阶段只是他表现的不好啊，有没有什么未来的希望之星呢？也没有，兄弟也没有。美国女人生孩子的畸胎率很高，就生孩子就是美国现在不是这一代人不行， 后面的人也不行啊！我给你们看点杀人诛心的事儿。美国女人生不出来正常，也不是生不出来吧，就生出来正常孩子几率低啊。有时候没有优生优育嘛。反正我把这个也放上。美国女人现在不大生得出来正常的孩子啊，几率也不高，才5%啊。美国的畸胎率差不多是5%啊。也不是很高啊，畸胎就是你以为吸毒的恶果只在这一代人身上显现吗？不是的，兄弟，不是的，不是就在这一代人身上显现的啊。美国男人吸毒，女人就不吸吗？有人说5%是什么概念？这个世界上的绝大多数发达国家是3%，是2%。这100个孩子里面就有5个是畸形，也不算是吧？按照某些人的说法，那还可以，是吧？对，每20个孩子里面就有1个不正常啊，也就还行。而且没救。如果美国女人不能戒毒的话，你们先跟大家说一下，为什么一定要戒毒？我们为什么一定要严厉的打击毒品、打击强化剂？你吸毒成瘾、吸强化剂成瘾以后，很多并发症、后遗症是影响终身的，它影响的是你的 DNA， 就是没救。我总有人说，这个美国今天这样，明天那样，我说都是狗屁，他怎么样都不怎么样，就是总有人说美国怎么样，大国家没有未来，他哪有未来？他哪有未来？就是有些人那个话，我就觉得很好笑。他还总分析美国20年以后怎么样啊？这是什么计划？你是不是给他看的太冤了呀，兄弟？